appreciate all of you subscribing to the channel. I'm at 22,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. But anyhow, I'm at Tractor Supply today. I'm at one in Lima, Ohio, and I'm looking at log splitters. I'm not in the market for one, but I thought I would check out this wide selection of log splitters they have at this store. First log splitter I see here is the heavy duty top of the line one, and it's $2,699. The tag says it's a 40-ton unit, which looks pretty heavy duty to me. It definitely has a bigger engine on it than the others, and probably a little bit bigger hydraulic pump. But one thing I really like about this log splitter is them heavier duty tires on them. If you're going to be pulling it on the road behind the pickup truck with those tires, they'll definitely pull a little better and ride a little better than some of the cheaper log splitters. But you can see there's a lot of adjustments on here, and I like it pretty well. Now here is a little bit smaller model, more economy model. Still has a Kohler engine. It's $14.99, and it is a 28-ton unit. I actually have this same unit. I've had it about 10 years. I like it pretty well. It does have the Kohler engine, the Kohler Courage engine, that is. But you know, I haven't run into anything it couldn't split. I don't know that I love the Kohler Courage engine. It's not been bad. I've definitely had to replace the carburetor on it a couple of times, but for the most part, it's not terrible. And over here's the Husky models, which is a Tractor Supply in-house brand, and these are the cheaper 20-ton units. I don't know anybody that's ever owned one of these, but you know, they don't look bad, but you can definitely tell there's some things cut back on them that aren't on the other units. But for $999, basically $1,000, you really couldn't go wrong, I wouldn't think. Everything looks pretty simple and easy to replace on all three of these models. I do see the motor on this model is has no name on it. I'm sure it's some type of Honda clone. Now, on Tractor Supply's website, it shows that they have a cheaper Champion model log splitter. It's a little 8-ton unit, but I did not see it in the store. But it shows that you can order it online, and it's $699, which is probably a good alternative to somebody who don't have a lot of money. The thing is about most log splitters is they're fairly common and easy to work on. Parts are pretty readily available and universal in most log splitters. You know, really, other than having the frame, the main I-beam, and you know, the hydraulic cylinders, all you really have is a motor, a hydraulic pump, and some hoses. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong, and it's fairly simple to change out a hydraulic pump or a motor or even a hydraulic cylinder on any log splitter. Sites like eBay and Amazon have tons of replacement parts. So I really don't think it matters too much on the brand of what log splitter you go with, because they're all pretty universal as far as parts. I do know that Tractor Supply uses a company called Speedco to build all their log splitters, and they build a lot of log splitters for other companies as well. Well, thank you again for coming with me today on my trip around Tractor Supply looking at log splitters. You know, if you're in the market for a log splitter, I wouldn't be afraid to buy one in about anywhere, because like I said, a lot of the parts are universal, and you can get parts on eBay, Amazon, whatever, and they're pretty well universal. A lot of the same companies make all the log splitters for your major retailers. There's people that even build their own log splitters. My grandfather built one back in the 80s. Nowadays, you know, price of materials and the build stuff, it's not as as affordable as it once was. You know, the price of everything's up. So sometimes you can buy one, you know, for a better deal than building one, unless you had a lot of materials already on hand. But you know, there's just a lot of log splitters out there, and you know, again, everything's universal on most of them, and a lot of things are rebuildable. You know, like your hydraulics and things on them too. That the Tractor Supply was at in Ohio probably had a better selection of log splitters than any of them I've seen around here in my area. In my area, they usually only stock one, you know, log splitter, and it's usually like the 28-ton middle grade unit. I happened to be in a running store in Lima while I was there, and I saw a very interesting tool that DeWalt come out with, and they come out with a 60-volt log splitter. DeWalt log splitter run off the 60-volt battery. I didn't get a look at it a lot. I did take a photo, but I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know how much power, you know, something like that would have, but that was just something else I saw that was interesting and cool. But you know, and that's like log splitters. There's a lot of used ones that come up for sale, especially in the summertime, and you know, I see them all the time on Marketplace. Been setting 5 years, doesn't run. Most of the time, you know, you can buy a log splitter like that, probably replace the carburetor and clean the fuel tank, and it'll run again. If worst come to worst, if it was blowed up, go buy a Harbor Freight Predator and repower it. You know, I've done many of those, and you know, they're not real difficult. So again, if you're in the log splitter market, you know, look at all the different ones, have to decide what you want to do. Most homeowners and even people like myself, you can get by with a 20-ton. It depends on how much firewood, you know, you're going to be splitting. I only went with the 28-ton at the time because I needed a log splitter pretty badly, and it was the only one that was available, which I got mine on like a Black Friday sale. I think I paid $8.99 for it, which was a good deal, but that was also 10 years ago. So, you know, again, if you're, you know, looking at log splitters, you know, there's a wide variety. You just got to decide what you want to go with, you know, how hard of wood you're going to be splitting, how much, and take it from there. So thank you again for coming along. As always, watch my videos. Thank you.